How long is it gonna be? Like an hour?
Yeah, it's an hour. Okay, hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christopher Frank, and we are starting our first podcast. So this is episode 1. I'm here with some of my friends here at UGA, and you guys can introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Chisholm.
Danielle. Wait, actually, you can say your major and like what year you are. Too.
Okay, yeah, I'm Chisholm. I'm a second year. My major is bio for pre-med.
Hi, I'm Danielle, second year also, and I'm a journalism major.
Hi, I'm Tolu. I'm a second year. My majors are psychology and biology, pre-med.
Okay, what's up? My name's Tomasi. I'm a second year, and I'm majoring in computer systems engineering.
Okay, so we have a pretty diverse group of people here that have different majors, and so basically, kind of going to be the same thing as last time's Q&A, or it was a Q&A, but this can be more of a kind of a discussion about just how to have a good freshman year, and we can talk about things that if you're not a freshman, you can also ask questions about that too, because I think, as we said, most of us here are second years also. So the first thing we can talk about, if anyone wants to jump in, is just how would you say is a good way to be successful in college?
Time management. Like you can surround yourself like you'll have a lot of parties coming at you and just popping up, you know, and you just gotta manage your time and choose which ones you actually have to go to and choose like. Y'all, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just a conversation.
Yeah. It's just like basically just managing your time wisely and getting your class, actually going to class and actually like doing the work and studying, because I did not do any of that last year and I got and my grades suffered. So yeah, don't be like me, okay?
And Chisholm also, she hasn't started her channel, but she also has a YouTube channel. And what is it?
She says CHYSAYS.
Okay, so you can look that up. Does anyone else want to add to that, or?
I would say have a plan, have some kind of goal, write down something you want to do, even if it's just to be on the honor roll or get to class on time, because usually every day in high school, because if you don't have no kind of direction, then you're going to wind up spending the whole year just aimlessly going. You ain't going to know what you after. It's going to be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think good study habits, you should like try different things out. There's not one way to study, but good study habits will help you on those tests, because if you don't know what's on that test, you're going to be sitting there for like an hour, like, bang.
I will say that I think my study habits changed from high school. Not maybe not my study habits, or more like the way I studied. Because like in high school, like there's one way you can study for high school, and then there's another way you study for college. So you have to figure out what works for you. And
because like I think like high school, like if you skated through high school like not studying and just like acing all your tests without having to study, it's not going to be like that in college. It's like it's a slap in the face. You actually have to study. You can't just expect to make a good grade on the test without putting forth the work.
Another thing is definitely having the resources, and then there's so many like. You can use your professors, your TA, but also like students. Like you can always join a group chat, and y'all help each other, study groups, talk about whatever topics you don't know. Find some upperclassmen and get advice on what class to take, what teachers to stay away from. So there's so many, like if you can't find a resource, make one. You know? Like go up to some students and just start a study group.
Like back to the upperclassmen. Like some upperclassmen actually like have physical tests,
old tests
that they have, and they actually sell them or just give them away,
and the notes and the homework.
So actually utilize that and actually seek out these upperclassmen that are willing to help you.
Yeah, you got to find the helpful ones.
Yeah,
because some of them, I don't know. You just gotta use your discretion. So if you're new, just joining us, we are doing a podcast just basically over anything college related or college life. academics, anything really. So you can, oh shoot. Okay, I remember last time I had the same problem, so I haven't been reading the comments. I don't know how to find it. Oh, see, there we go. I have to figure out how to find the comments.
Is that what's on the side right there? What's that?
It doesn't pop up over there.
So what's this?
This? That's where it should be popping up, but it's not. So I don't know. I may be able to do it like this.
True.
But hopefully it doesn't play.
Well, that's cool.
Hi, how are you? Okay. All right. Okay, so let's see if we can find another topic. So I know last time we had the college Q&A, some people were talking about how do you not miss home? How do you get comfortable living on campus, living away from your parents for the first time? Even if you do have siblings on campus, you still have to make it your home too. Right. So anyone want to talk about that?
I would say don't be a homebody. Actually, don't sit around in your dorm and then start crying about how, no one likes you, you don't go anywhere. Actually go out and seek out friends. It can be random people.
On the elevator.
At the dining hall. At the dining hall, any of that. Just random, just go walk up to them. Don't be afraid to walk up to them.
What are they gonna do? No one's gonna say it out of my face.
No one's going to hit you. No one, nothing like that. There's nothing to fear from a conversation. And just make connections with people, because these are the people that you're gonna be with for the next 4 years. Get to know them. Actually, and also calling home a lot can help too. Keeping in touch with your parents and stuff, that can help with homesickness and stuff like that. So
I would say join orgs, doing all types of different organizations, because they might do activities like ASU has activities.
What was ASU?
African Student Union. When they have the play, they do they do all those practices for maybe months. So they become a family through that. So doing this stuff like that will help you cope with homesickness and just feeling like you're alone,
So making a family on campus.
Right.
It needs to get to a point where when you're home, you say you're going home. If that means I always say that I'll be at home and they'll say, okay, I'm gonna pack to go home, and they're you're home. So you need to get to that kind of comfort level. And obviously it'll take some time if you're new.
Yeah.
But work towards a goal like that. It won't happen overnight, but just be around people who are good to you, care for you, and it just comes with it.
Yeah.
So.
I would say try not to go home too much, because if you're at home every week, you're gonna get the full college experience.
Right.
If you're gonna be at home every week, every month, just take all
my or just commute.
Oh, hey, how are you? How was your move-in? Well, you guys can keep talking. Yeah. Oh, they said, hey, it just moved in Sunday.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. And then how would you say, you're saying, when you're trying to make your campus home and you're saying you need to join clubs and orgs, how do you balance doing that and not have a stressful freshman year, because you're still trying to have fun?
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Like I said, time management. A planner can really help. Writing down everything that you have to do, and then just checking it. Check it as soon as you wake up, just so you have it in your mind. This is what I need to get done today.
Yeah. I mean, during freshman year, I used to make very detailed schedules every day. I'd be from the time I'd wake up to what I do at night, so I could really keep track of what I was going to do the whole day.
Right.
So you could do that too, I think, or you could use Google Calendar, different apps. There's so many apps out there for task management and all that. So if you're looking for stuff to plan, it's not just a random planner, because sometimes you forget. You're and then you haven't even looked at it the whole week. So I think it's better on your phone. So it's better on your phone if you have it. So I'd say do that.
And definitely pick and choose what you want to do. Like even in the beginning, like I know everything, you know, looks like all shiny little things, but pick what you really want. Like 5 years from now, what do you want to remember? Because if you try to do everything and you flunk out of school, you still can't be in that club. You know, like you still have to pay UGA. So like that's what you're here for. So don't get so worried about extracurriculars and then fail out of school.
Yeah. Don't want to get too caught up about that clout.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I think I was one girl. She said, I think you were telling me she changed her her major because her sorority was
that was my roommate. My roommate last year. She was in a sorority. In the first month, we were all talking about how your class is going. You know, and they were always borrowing my printers. So I'm like, well, you better be doing good. You're using up all my ink, you know? So then they were telling me, oh, she's going to have to change her major because the sororities, just, you know, all the social she has to go to and everything, and that business is just too hard to deal with, you know, the sorority. I'm just like, at the end of the day, your degree is what's going to get you a job, not joining a sorority. You know, no one's going to let you be a doctor because y'all happen to be the same. Like, you still need a degree, right? So, I'm just saying, like, that wouldn't fly by. Like, my parents would be.
Yeah.
And that's so good. That's so good that it was stress-free. I think mine was pretty stressful in terms of my move-in. I'm responding to her comment there. So Hill Hall, actually, I've been in there before. It's very traditional. I will say that. Good luck with not having elevators, because yikes. Anyway. So now we're thinking about, you're on campus, you're all moved in, you're thinking about what clubs you want to join into. So now it's time to go to class. When you're meeting your professors, what are some things that you should be doing with your professors? Some of them can be really intimidating. So how do you go about that? You know, you understand my question?
Probably not like try to get to know every professor, because 6 people, that's too much office hours. Like, talk to the ones that interest you. Like I had one for Latin American class, and I really wanted to study in the Latin American country. And so I would go and talk to him, you know, just see like how he started teaching, or like what more I can get out of the class. Because these are people that are going to be writing recommendations. Like, when you ready to graduate and nobody around,
You said start thinking about that.
Right?
I would say focus on the professors for the classes that are really challenging for you. Like if you know you're not good at math or science, then focus on those professors. But the easy ones, like the electives and stuff, you don't really have to get to know, like you can, but just focus on the ones that are the hardest, that you need the most, right?
Yeah, I used to be in my physics open office hours like every day doing homework. At some point, I feel like she needs money.
Wow. I feel like, go ahead. No, you should. I feel like some professors, shoot, I forgot where I was going with it now. Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, what I was gonna say is that even though they might seem intimidating, but just always remember, like, they're sort of kind of like high school teachers. They're like, we're never intimidated of your high school teacher. So there's really not a difference. You just went to school longer, maybe. And then remember how much you're paying for tuition. Even if you don't pay, you have scholarships. Somebody's paying for your tuition. Like that professor's getting paid to teach you. So always remember that, you know, you're the one who's really coming first. Like if you weren't, if the students weren't there, they wouldn't have a job. So just don't be intimidated by them.
Because, like, the professors, they're getting paid either way.
Right.
Whether or not you get the information or not, they're still getting their checks. So sometimes you might get professors that just, like, don't care because they know they're getting paid either way. But sometimes you can get, like, really good professors, and you like have to be in charge of your education in college, because no one is going to remind you.
No one is chasing you down.
No one is chasing
your name on your assignments.
Like, like the professor might mention a test one day that's like a month later, but that's it. He's not going to keep reminding you every single day. So you have to remember where that date is. And that's where a planner comes in handy, you know? But
I started using mine for this year. I'm already got.
Same.
I think I got my first email from my teacher, and they were like, "Yeah, so since we're not having class the first day, here's an assignment." And I was like, "What? Oh, great!" Like, but you make sure you do check your emails.
Yeah,
every single day.
Because sometimes your teachers will just randomly cancel class. I had this one teacher. He would just randomly cancel class. I would be on my way to class. Like I'm standing at the classroom door waiting to be let in. And I check my email. Oh, class is canceled today. Like what? and he tell me why he just sent it like 6 a.m. that morning. Who is I
have had classes canceled on the way.
On the way.
But see, I used to see people Snapchat saying, "Oh my gosh, my class is canceled." I'm like, I cannot relate. None of my classes were canceled last year.
My teacher canceled class. I feel like if he just didn't feel like going, he just canceled.
Like we had class on a solar eclipse. Like, just like what the heck? Can we do one day? One day. Oh my god.
I just think it's funny how the high school teachers be like, "Oh, they won't care about you." Some of these classrooms,
That's what they really care.
Yes.
My one teacher, she cared so much.
I remember my chem professor. She would always. I guess she like remembered my face, but like there was 250, 300 people in the room. But yet every time I would be doing a problem, she would always like look at me and like see if I was doing okay with the work.
Aww.
And so while I didn't like her for like the test and all that stuff, but like at least she cared and like always were trying to make sure I was on top of my stuff and stuff like that. I mean, I wish I would have got like an A, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, at least she cares. Man. Would you guys have any questions so far?
Oh, and make sure to get all your things done before school starts, because I remember I was more so worried during my orientation. I was more so worried about signing up for classes that I didn't do my ISCAN and come the day of school. And you're trying to in the dining hall, and I remembered, oh my, I'm seeing everyone going to the ISCAN thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably go do that. So take care of everything. Do a checklist.
My Kim, she's asking, she's taking Kim 1211 this year. Who was your professor? My professor was Sarah Blankenship.
Me too.
Oh, me too.
However,
Jesus.
If you can get, what's his name, Cochran?
Yes.
If you can get
him.
Snatch him.
Because Blankenship
does nothing.
She does nothing.
Okay, but at least she cared about me. Okay.
That's who was looking at you.
That's who you was talking
about. That's who cared about me.
No.
I'm right eye contact with her.
Like her score on Rate My Professor is a 1. Someone literally commented.
Y'all are really roasting my girl Sarah.
Someone literally commented on her Rate My Professor page and said a rock would be a better teacher than her. Like, she never, like, her class was self-taught. She expected you to come already knowing the information. So she starts handing out clicker questions.
That's true.
Clicker questions that go towards your grade. And it's like, this was never taught. And you
don't ever expect a lesson. The only time you see a PowerPoint is for clicker questions.
Yes.
I was waiting all year for one day that she would teach.
She never taught.
Do your mind map. Read before you come to class.
Please read your book.
If you don't know, guess A, B, C, D. Guess, so you can get points or something.
True,
yes. If you don't know, just guess, please. Don't take it down. Don't leave it blank.
Make sure you form groups in that class.
Yeah, you have to do that.
If you're in a group, at least one person,
someone
has to know. You know,
educated guess. Eliminate the rest of them.
And another tip that my friend taught me would be to do your progress checks. Do them in a group.
Yeah.
All of you guys,
I think I told somebody was asking me a question. I was on campus, And I was like, definitely just do those
not do that by yourself.
Don't do it by yourself, and go back and review them because those are good to do for the test.
They really are. Some questions on here are on the test, right?
They just change the numbers.
But Cochran, he makes the test and he explains really good. So if you can get him, like, drop an ad, if I think it's maybe Tuesday, really Monday after everyone has probably went to class.
Yeah.
When people start dropping stuff, like, you should be checking to see if stuff has started opening up. So utilize drop an ad.
And pray.
And also don't take MindTap for granted. Like, you might think you don't need it, but it's like certain information on there, like, it'll show up on the clicker questions. So actually make sure you read through it. Like, don't just be clicking like I did, because she will throw in some of that information.
And y'all will look dumb when y'all try to get an explanation. Exactly. He tells you that she was on mind. It was Don't be like, oh.
Literally, when I was doing my clicker questions, I was like, oh shit, this was, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, I saw this on MindTap. And I would literally have MindTap open while I was doing those clicker questions, because some of that information is on there. But yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Good 2 cents, though. Good 2 cents.
Like, this is stuff I wish I knew when I took her class, you know?
But she was new. When we had her, that was her first year teaching.
I mean,
just do your research again.
Please do.
Okay.
So if you guys are just joining or are still listening, we are doing a college, just a podcast about college life, college student, anything. So you can just, we already have some questions going. So go ahead and submit any other questions or anything you want to say, and we'll respond to it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you can talk about that story now. I want to know.
My trash can situation.
Okay,
wait, please. So basically, here's the thing. So before we started the podcast, I actually have in my room. I think I'm gonna do a room tour too, but I have a headboard, and so Toe was coming by just to see it, right? And so there's some story about a roommate in a trash can.
Yeah.
So I'm just really interested about this.
Okay, so we was having a debate earlier about whether.
But we have to tell the story
chronologically.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, like, so we just want you guys' opinion about it, because we're conflicted and divided. So okay, go ahead and tell me.
So I'll start from the beginning, right? I have a roommate. She's okay. Last semester, mine weren't that great. You know, we had a lot of problems, not including me, of course, you know. Just anyway, I have a new roommate, and I was very positive, you know, knowing that she's going to be awesome. And I meet her, and she's so wonderful, super, super sweet, super, super kind. I love her. And so come to find out that, you know, while we're unpacking, we noticed that there isn't a trash can in the kitchen or her bedroom. But I didn't notice because I had a trash can in my room. I just assumed, you know, she would have one too. So I have the kindness in my heart, you know, because I brought 2 trash cans. I have a recycling and a trash can. Okay. So I was like, okay, I have the kindness in my heart. I'll give mine up, sacrifice, love, you know. Gave my trash can away. And said, okay, we'll put it in the kitchen, you know, common area. You can use my trash can too, right?
Right.
So she's been using my trash can, no problem. But then she left for a week, you know, and I'm okay, no problem. I took out the trash can when it got full. Mm-hmm. You know, even though most of it wasn't mine, mind you, I still have the 2 in my room, you know, but kindness in my heart still, being a great roommate, I took it out. Just yesterday, Chisholm here's a witness. Yes. So I took it out yesterday. She came back today. She's supposed to come back yesterday. Being the considerate roommate I am, I'm texting her, hey, you okay? Just checking in on you. I didn't see you yesterday. You know, I'm praying for you. Just let me know, you know? Didn't get a response, but it's okay. I let it go. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. So she comes by today with, you know, a car. She's moving in. She brought a friend. No problem. Happy to see her. And she says, oh, by the way, I got a trash can for the kitchen. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, sweet. Do you want this trash can for your room since you don't have a trash can? Still being considerate, like always, as you see the pattern. You know, always been that way, will always be that way, praise God. So she goes, oh, no, I got one for my room. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we could just use it for the living room. She says, okay, right? I'm thinking agreed upon, correct? Right. Yes. So me and Chisholm go out, you know, we did a little shopping, maybe 30 minutes, right? And so we're in her room, and I need to go get some flip-flops or something, and I went in my room, got locked out, but I came back in the room. So there was already like a frustration because I got locked out of my room. So I, you know, really frustrated, I had to go to, you know, Rooker, get a 10 key, you know, so there's a little bit of frustration already there. So I walk in, and now I see 3 trash cans in the kitchen, right? So I'm like, you know, so the first thing that got is that the trash can that I just took out yesterday is now more than halfway full, right? So me, I'm like, so who's gonna take that out? Not I, you know? Then I see the tall trash can, barely has anything in it. Maybe one thing was in it. Then I see a little bathroom trash can sitting in front of there too.
Wait, so why do they put it up?
Right, thank you, that's my question. You know, what is it doing there? So I'm okay, well, I remember we discussed that. You know, when you go ahead and put the kitchen trash can, the little one goes in the living room, right? You know, I don't know anything about this bathroom trash can. So I'm, you know, just a little confused. I'm okay, well, maybe she just wants us to do like your trash can, my trash can thing, which makes sense. You know, I take out my trash, take out your trash. Simple, right? But then what got me? What shooketh me, right? Is that there is now trash, and what is supposed to be my trash can that is not my trash. So I'm like, well, why would you do that? I've been so nice, so kind, you know, so loving, so friendly. So I'm just, and we had an agreement. So I can't, and I'm already upset. And then I just vacuumed a couple days ago, and I'm seeing little wrappers on the floor. It might have been one, but I mean, it's still a wrapper that's on the floor. You know, the filter thing was on. So there was just a lot. So I came back into Chisholm's room, and I was telling her and Danielle that, you know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. And so I'm like, you know, I'm not even bothered about it. My question is, who's going to take that trash out? Because it cannot be, no. But it I just took it out, right? I just took it out. So I'm like,
but there's 3 there.
Right, exactly. Thank you. That's my problem. That is my problem. There's 3. Out of the 3, 2 belonged to you, and you put it in mine. What is I guess the pose? So I'm a little confused. So I come in already frustrated. I don't want to text her and be, you know, I don't want to come up. So I go to my friends, you know, who you're supposed to confide in, who you're supposed to vent to, who you can trust, you know, who know have always got your back, you know, the family away from family that I was just talking to y'all about, the home away from home. That's where I went to, you know, my safe haven, you know. So I come back and I'm telling them, hey guys, this is what happened. I'm a little frustrated. This and this happened. The trash can, there's 3. And so Tristan doesn't see where the problem is.
No, I see the problem, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal because I don't think that she did it with malicious intent.
Okay, but like if you don't really know her, you don't know her, right?
I know her.
Okay, so she has a random roommate. You don't know her that well. So like, is she throwing shade at you?
That's the same thing. I wasn't sure.
Maybe
I've seen her literally 2 days. 2
Like,
days.
that's the thing. I don't think she is. I don't think like she went to each trash can and said, "Oh, this is Tolu's. Let me fill up Tolu's trash can and leave mine empty." I don't think she did.
They don't look the same.
No,
like,
she said they're like different
that's like yes. That's like, okay. Let's forget that she's not salty. Let's pretend. You know, I don't even know if she is. Like I said, no shade. I still love her. But if you see 3 trash cans, right? Forget you brought 2. Just pretend. You've got a tall trash can, a medium-sized trash can, and a little baby itty-bitty bathroom trash can. And your hand is filled with trash. Where would you? I'm just. Maybe it's just me. But where would you put this trash?
I don't think
where would it go?
So your problem is she put the trash in your trash can.
What is supposed to see? The problem just keeps adding up. At first, it's
all this issue coming from. The roommate is nice.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying the girl is mean.
The girl took us.
I love her.
She took us all to get ice cream.
What?
Was she paid for?
No, we paid for it.
But she drove us in her car. She didn't have to.
She said you're confusing the whole situation. Forget the ice cream.
Gas prices.
Keep the ice cream and forget the gas price.
She said, they said, maybe tell her clearly that.
That's what I said.
No, I don't know. No.
She's saying it's the principal. I said, as soon as you seen it, as soon as you saw it, all you had to do is text her.
No, they're not listening. We
not
already agreed. No. We already agreed. Do you want this trash can then? No. Okay, we'll put it in the living room. Mind you, when we're talking about her trash can that she's bought, it's not out. Right? Because like I said, she moved in with a cart. So everything is still in the cart. And she was like, by the way, I have a trash can. So I'm okay, cool. That's why I was saying making the plans. You step ahead. You know, the sit and talk. I did the sit and talk.
Okay.
Right? And she said, oh no, I don't want to have trash can for my room. So I said, okay, then should we go ahead and put in the living room, like a living room trash? Because we don't know what else to do with this trash can, right? And she goes, yeah, that works. Right? So that's where I'm confused. Because if we 30 minutes later,
all three.
Exactly. Thank you. Preach.
Okay, so your problem is that she didn't agree with the negotiation.
Exactly. So then I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm not even. I mean, that's one of the bothering, you know. But because I'm so considerate, like I've been saying, kind. I'm like, okay, no problem.
You just brush it off.
I'm like, it's fine. If you want to keep both, we'll keep both. I have mine, you have yours. Then if that's the case, why is your trash in my trash can? Answer that. Answer me that.
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to be like real petty. Take your trash out.
That's where it is. Y'all start.
But he understands.
Does it have to lead to that?
That's not what.
Not that
Our understanding is that if you agree on something, 30 minutes later you change your mind, I'm cool with it. You didn't even tell me. But then if you want to set things up a different way, let it be fair. If you're gonna set it up to where you have your trash can, I have my trash can, put your trash in your trash can.
But did she say that though?
No, she just let both of them there. She let both of them there, put a bathroom trash.
Maybe she just asked her like why she put all three of them out there.
Okay,
I
told her, I was like, okay, if y'all gonna have separate trash cans, okay, cool. You put your stuff in your stuff, and she put hers in hers. But if you're gonna have sharing all three of them, then that will be less time, and you have to take out the trash. You'll be filling up multiple. But if not, put the rest in the pantry or under the cabinet. And I'm saying, like, it doesn't have to be an issue yet unless it reoccurs. If you go ahead and knock this out, it's not really a big thing. But I did see where she saw the issue.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's my only point, is that this was a frustrating event. Okay. So I came to vent. You know, I didn't want anyone to argue with me. I wanted them to tell me, totally, you're right. We understand how you feel. We love you. That's why I wanted a hug. That's all I wanted. I just wanted somebody to hold me and say, it's really fine. You know, totally forget about it. We'll help you with the trash. Get the trash out. So I'm
you want to comfort?
Yes, family away from family, home away from home.
Home is for the arches.
Exactly, home is for the arches. So
I just didn't think it was a big deal. That's it. That's all.
See, this is what's frustrating me. You see, this is what's frustrating me.
Do you guys think it's a big deal? I really want to know.
It doesn't matter what kind of deal it is. It could be big, small. It could deal with an issue. Period.
That's what matters.
Yes.
Right.
Because we already agreed on something.
We have a question about asking about the art program at UGA. So is there an art program at UGA?
Actually, there's a whole art building over here.
So I forgot to mention this. My majors are international affairs, entertainment and media studies, and I'm minoring in Spanish. Mm-hmm. So that means I'm in Grady in the School of Public Service. Public affairs and international affairs. And so I actually haven't went to my advising meeting for that yet. But anyway, Grady Grady is a journalism that's sort of in the arts realm, journalism college. And then we also have music, art itself. Like we live in East Campus Village. That's where we are currently. And so right next to ECV is the Art Museum, which is free and open to students. And I went there actually sometime this week because I was filming a video for some of my favorite places on campus. And you go in there, it's pretty chill. It's not really ever packed. They have different exhibits in there. They don't really have a lot right now since school hasn't really started and they haven't started their project and whatnot. But there is an art program. So what type of art are you trying to look for? And then does anyone want any topics that y'all want to talk about?
I've never actually been to the art museum.
I mean,
they have.
It's right too.
Yeah,
it's very quiet, so I don't know. It depends if that's your cup of tea.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to definitely experience. I would say if you're gonna go to college, you can branch out.
And they have little things actually in the art school, like the students do stuff. You can walk around.
Oh yeah, the art museum is next to the School of Music, the concert hall that's over there, which I think high school students, middle school students come here for all state. And so that's the music competition. So they come up here and do that. So they said I wanted to study animation for video games and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. We have animation classes. I don't know somebody exactly if it's a degree. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you heard her, but she's saying that they do have animation programs here. So you have to look into that a little bit more.
Maybe degree works or
something. Right. I have walked a little bit around inside the Museum of Art and passing by some of the classrooms. I think I did see some animation rooms. And actually, I didn't know they had a music video room. They have one of those where they like play students that have made music videos and they're just kind of playing in a room. I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I didn't know they had that. So
they had the glasses. There was I saw it. I saw it on someone's class. They were like in the class. They had the video game glasses, like the virtual.
You mean no? That's not one of the libraries.
Oh, it's at a lot. Which one?
It's at the science library.
Third floor. I've been in there, so you can go in there for free. It's like virtual world.
Oh, really?
You're gonna have to go.
Yeah, it's 3D printing in there.
You can get a certificate, and then you can get stickers made in that same room.
Wow, yeah.
So it's cool if you need a sticker.
It's like random rooms. I don't even know. There's so much stuff. I don't even know why it's there, but
there's so much stuff to discover on campus.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
And it can really take you a whole year to do it. Like, and we're still doing stuff now. I mean, there's really nothing in there.
I didn't even go there until like second semester of freshman year, and I'm a bio major. So
the science library.
The science learning center. Yeah.
I haven't even been to the main library.
Really?
Wait a second.
The main library, they have this
the fourth floor.
The fourth floor.
That's the way. That's the way to go.
Like they have these beanbag chairs. It's just so relaxing. You can write on the walls, like if you're like in a study group, and it's so.
I almost feel bad just like saying that because there's gonna be packed. Like you can find out about it.
I mean, isn't it packed?
Well. It's okay.
It's okay.
And now they have like new vending machines in there. They have like Dunkin' Donut machine in there.
Okay.
Like iced coffees and whatnot. And they have like vending, like just regular vending machines, like soda and stuff. I don't think they have food.
But yeah, to get there, when you get off the elevator on the 4th floor, you make a left, and it's right there.
It looks like you're going into like an airplane terminal.
Yeah,
it really does.
It's really good. Have y'all been?
I have.
I think I've been there.
Oh yeah, I said
Oh yeah, we went there together.
Yeah. I've never been to the special collection though.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been
either.
I've never been.
That was really nice.
Wait, I have been. I think we walked through it. No, that wasn't the special collections.
What is the special collection?
It
sounds like somewhere that I've heard it on the bus
route. It sounds like they have
it's by Corel.
Yeah, it's behind it.
Yeah,
it's a whole stop.
Like, yeah, I put it on the bus route, but I don't know what do you do there?
This is another library.
Yeah.
Oh. But it's like books that you can't take out of the library.
Do they have like study spaces?
I don't see nobody in there. Have you been to the creamery though? Like,
no, I want to go there too.
Yeah, where is that?
It's right by the SOC. It's like a little cut.
Mm-hmm. It's like behind bushes and stuff.
Yeah, it's in a cut. I don't know.
It's a what?
It's like a hidden.
Oh,
but isn't it from like UGA Cal?
It's literally.
I felt like it was.
Oh, you know what?
Because isn't the milk and we drink is from?
It's from the cows over here. I know you can buy the bacon though from the pigs or whatever they got over here.
Mm-hmm. The Rhodes Animal Center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You mean the meat sale?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know how much it's
Did they say like cows over here too?
What?
I swear somebody used to tell me that they could hear cows by
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
They said by 56 and they be waking up, picking up moving. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think they got like some kind of building over there.
What?
So we have a question that says, how hard was it for you guys to get into UGA? And also, how much? But you can look at how much on the website, and then you also have to factor in your scholarship and stuff like that if you do get those. But as far as how hard was it for you guys to get into UGA?
For me, honestly, I was not even going to go to UGA. Like UGA was nowhere on my radar. I actually applied to Georgia Southern. I got in. I paid the it was a down. You have to pay a commitment fee, right? Yeah. And it was like $100. I actually paid that. You know?
Actually, I did that with Auburn, I think. I don't know. But
but I didn't apply. I really didn't even apply to UGA until I think it was like December of senior year of high school. And the only reason I applied was because my mom wanted me to go. Right. Because so I'm Nigerian, right? And like the Nigerian community is like really big at UGA. Like it's really big. So that's one of the reasons why she wanted me to go. And so I applied. I actually didn't even think I was going to get in.
You talking about the clubs you were in.
I had no clubs.
The last one was in the 4th grade.
The last club I was in was middle school, elementary school. Like I had no clubs under my belt. Don't do this. But I actually lied on my application. But I lied on my application about volunteering and stuff like that. My GPA wasn't bad, but I was like so the requirements that's on their website was what scared me, because they said like the 4.0 and mine was a 3.7, so I was just scared. I was like, they're not gonna accept me, you know. But I think what really made them accept me was like I had really good teacher recommendations.
Yeah,
like
those really get you.
Right. I was like really cool with a lot of my teachers. They wrote me one of them actually let me read the recommendation before she sent it off, and she was like, I was emotional about it. Like, she was just hyping me up, and I was like, thank you, you know. And also, Oh crap! I lost my train of thought. But teacher recommendations, and it was something else. No, it was the essays.
Oh, the essays.
My essays were really good. Like my answers were really good. You know, well articulated and stuff like that. So make sure you really work on your essays because that can really work to your benefit. And like I had a friend. I had someone who had like a 3.2. So don't be discouraged by your GPA, and she still got in. So don't be discouraged. Like even if you don't think you're gonna get in, still apply anyways, because like the worst they can do is just say no. You know.
And there's other colleges. I mean, honestly, a college degree is a college degree at the
at the end of the day.
So
And I didn't get my application until March. And when I tell y'all, I was surprised. Like I was literally mentally preparing myself for a rejection, you know, because I was so scared to read that letter. But it was a nice surprise. And the reason why my mom didn't want me going to Southern was because Southern was like 3 hours away. And she was like, I'm not coming to see you if you go there. Like, she was like, you're literally on your own until Thanksgiving or Christmas. Whoa. So yeah, UGA was like a trade-off, and I actually ended up liking it. Like I feel like it was a much better fit for me than if I was at Southern, you know. But yeah, that was how mine was. I don't know about you guys.
For me, let's see. My ACT, another thing about UGA is they super score. And so super score is, you can take the test, like ACT, I took ACT, it was just easier for me. You can take it as many times as you want, and they'll take, let's say you do really good on English on one test, and you do really good on math on another, and you do really good on science on another. Well, but your whole composite for each one is not where it needs to be.
Right.
They'll combine all of your top scores to make you a good one, and that can be your super score, your test score, which could be closer to the admissions requirement. So make sure you can utilize that as a resource. I wrote my essay. I had that reviewed by a lot of people, actually. I had like my English teacher, my guidance counselor. I think I had some cousins read it. So, I mean, I wanted that essay to be like really good because I was scared about my test score, but then my GPA, I think that was a 3.9. So I wasn't too scared about that, but it was just a test score. And I was pretty involved in like clubs and orgs too. Like I had, I think about like 2 or 3 leadership positions, like just making sure that I had the stuff on my resume. So I had to make sure I had a good resume. Make sure if you're not, I don't know which year you are, but go ahead and start writing your resume as soon as you can, so that when it comes time for application time and you need to give a resume to your people that you're asking for letter of recommendations, then you already have that kind of done. And then another thing about like when you get to college, like you can use your high school resume for like your first year, but then like after that, I mean, you're gonna have to start doing some stuff in college because you handed them a high school resume, and they're like, okay, look, you're not in high school. Like, it's just not. So overall, I think I was pretty nervous about if I was gonna get in or not. But at the end, I think it's more of a holistic view when they come to the applications. It's more of a like, who's the student? What type of student do they want here? What type of student are you? You know. Anyone else want to add to?
Well, yeah, I would say, because for me, I was like, you know, like you're a good student, like clubs and stuff, good grades, yada, yada. But I didn't have like the best SAT score. So I would say try to make up where you lack, because I had started my own club. You know, I wanted to be different from what they see.
I did.
So, I mean, you don't have to like start your own club, but do something different that they might not see every day, because they see Beta Club, Hosea Feed the Hungry, like who knows how many people have that on there. So just try to like fill in where you lack, like I would say.
Just use everything that you are submitting to the college is a way for you to pub yourself, or promote yourself. And so I think if you don't, if you look at your application and everything that you're submitting, and if you aren't, I wouldn't say impressed, but if you're not like, oh, I would want that student, then you need to start kind of evaluating where you need to start, I guess. Yeah, kind of helping yourself out in that way.
Trying to be the best student you can.
Yeah.
And also, don't think that you have to join a lot of clubs to actually get accepted, because they really don't even look at that. And so now you have all these clubs under your belt. You're like struggling to stay like in school, and because Tolu had the same situation.
Yes, like I'll be honest, like, and I know, like, I don't want to sound like too good for anything, and obviously I go here like that's not the point I'm trying to go. No, I'm not trying to throw shade. That's the essence of my. Did I come off wrong?
No, you're just.
I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say though is that I've always like I grew up in Nigeria, so like being good in school, like I went to private schools in Nigeria, so being good in school wasn't an option. Like you would get beat in class for looking at the teacher the wrong way. Like you could have been whispering and if you didn't do your homework, you get beat. If you like they don't even get permission forms from your parents to be like it's a wrap to go home bloody, right? Don't get. I'm telling you, like they would scare first. They just boiled it in water. Like they don't play. Literally, like you. Like I know like I only ever got hit twice my whole life. Like I was like the goodiest of the goodies. Like I won't even lie. Like I was a snitch. Like if I could save myself, y'all, and the teacher said write a list of who was talking when I leave, first, middle, last name, where they see row 4, see like everything. I won't even lie. So anyway. When my family and I moved to America because we're trying to decide if we wanted to move to America or the UK, and I guess they chose here. It was just. I'm not trying to make it sound ungrateful or anything. But so. Like school has just always been like, to me that's my sport, if that makes sense. Like I'm not athletic in any way, like no shape of, like you won't ever catch me chasing bus on an ice cream truck, like you won't. Like I might do a few jumping jacks every once in a while, like a few months, so I don't catch anything, but very unathletic. Like my parents put me in basketball, and I had to lie to get out of it. Told them that basketball, the coach quit. But anyway, that's besides the point. Hopefully my mother doesn't hear this. But so anyway, so yeah, school was my sport. Like I remember even middle school, high school, like I was in every club you can think of. I remember like my high school profile is 4 pages. Like I'm not trying to brag or anything, but illegit, like I was doing everything and anything. Like every day I'd have at least 3 meetings.
Like the girl was on the newspaper.
Yes, like they had a newspaper article on me. I was winning any and every award. Like you walk into the school and you see my face everywhere. Like I was an anchor. I'm not even lying. Like I was an anchor, so we have flat screen, so you literally see me everywhere. And then like there are the award pictures, and then you see me there. So like that, but that's my that's just my like. That was just my thing. Like I didn't do anything outside of school. Like school was my sport. So like getting good grades, doing it, like everything was a challenge for me. Like I needed to one up myself. Like I remember my senior year, I needed like to up all my leadership roles. Like throughout high school, I think I had like 13, I'm not even like literally 13 leadership roles. I took 6 AP classes senior year. When everyone's like taking 4 classes, I got 8 with 6 AP classes. Like for what purpose? Like I think back on it, I'm like, colleges are already, they know who they're taking. Like what are you, so anyway, I was in every club doing all that. And with working all that hard, I was looking Ivy League. Like I love UGA. Go Dogs. But I wouldn't even lie. Like literally, if you asked me a year and a half ago from now, and you asked me what I had no clue where you like no shade, but genuinely I had no clue where UGA. Like when my dad told me to apply for UGA, I'm like, what is that? I'm like UCLA.
I'm going to Harvard.
I'm like legit, like y'all are saying like Harvard, like legit. Like I interviewed with Harvard and Princeton. Like I wasn't like the article was about me trying to get into Harvard. Like so I didn't know anything about. So I did my application the day of because my dad was all like, if Harvard falls through, you're not staying home. Which is what happened. I'm still waiting on my acceptance letter. So Harvard, get that back to me. Don't know there's somebody's son or something, dean or anybody. So, didn't get lost in the mail. Still waiting, Princeton. Yale. But just kidding. I love you, Jade. Go Dogs. So I mean, like I know there's this saying, you know, shoot for the moon and you fall in the stars, or is it something like that? So I love, like, even I would never ever leave. And I remember I got a deferred acceptance to tech, and I was supposed to stay here for a semester and then like go to tech. Like it was like set in stone. Like halfway through first semester, they were emailing me to get my housing done. But then I fell in love here and I found a family. I was like, I was just deleting emails. I didn't even talk about it. I'm like, thank you. I got a meeting to go to. The bus is running. I gotta go. So I mean, it really. So don't chase. I guess I was looking for something to like validate why I was working so hard, and like I was so used to like the certificate. Like I just wanted to, cause I didn't know. I didn't even know where Harvard is. Like till today, I don't know. I just heard it's cold. I've seen it on Legally Blonde. That's all I know. I swear, that's all I know. And whatever I researched for my interview, that's like I couldn't tell you where it is. I don't even know what their colors are. Like I don't know what team they're repping.
It's Bulldog. No, that's
on the way to second. Yeah, Harvard is like a burgundy.
Yeah, that's Yale. I'm thinking.
Yeah. So just when you're looking for schools, make sure you're looking for it for the right reason. Because I mean, like, I know if I had gotten into Harvard, I probably would have stayed there for a year, just tell everyone I was in Harvard and left. Like, I mean, you know, like legit, like it was just to say I got into Harvard. Like I probably, and then I found out I had called, you know, what was them people? The people who do like Hope and Zell. Come to find that doesn't even reach Harvard. I'm like, who's gonna pay? With what? I didn't know. So y'all make sure that you're realistic.
Yeah, and like don't try and overbook yourself with the clubs in high school, because like she said, you know, she overbooked herself. And then when she found out I got in without having
I was like, what? Like I was killing myself.
Out of her chair when she found out.
She told me the last club she was in was in the 4th grade. I was like, how? Then what was I doing? I could have been sleeping in so many days. I don't even know.
But I mean, now your work ethic will be here, and you can just be valedictorian. I mean, I want to.
I mean, you can have it. Like I'm done. I'm retired.
I got deferred too. I already figured I was gonna get deferred. When I applied, I wasn't from here. From here.
Oh, you applied early?
I did apply early, and I actually wasn't going to apply until about an hour or two before the deadline closed. Wow. Which one I was going to I typed everything up, and then I was going to have it reviewed. Like I had to see my mom or somebody could just read it real quick, see if there's any type of mistakes. Which then, by the time they had read through everything, then I clicked like submit. Then it refreshed the page, which then all my things went away. So then I had to refill out the application with about maybe 30 minutes. So I'm over here like speed typing. I'm like going in on this essay, right? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a typo up in here. I'm doing it all. So then I press send. So then I get deferred. And so I'm like, oh man, I mean, there's a chance. So I'm like, all right, it's okay. So I applied to about, I think, 7 or 8 other schools, which I didn't get into University of Florida or Texas A&M, but I got into all the other ones, which is still good. And I got some scholarships from some and some I didn't. Either way, the ones that I still got, they weren't that good either. But I mean, money's money. But let's see. Then it came time for the decisions to come out. And when I tell you, I was shaking. And like, it was like me and my friends, and we were all sitting there, and I was like, I'm not going to open it. I'm definitely not opening it in front of y'all. And then, well, now we have the whole texting and driving law. I can't do it now. But when I was driving, we were driving, leaving Zaxby's. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sneak and look at it. And so I'm like over here sneaking. I look, and I see the fireworks. When I tell you, I was so happy. I have a whole video on my Twitter. Dr. Graves, he saw it, bruh. It was a whole. It was so exciting. That was so great.
Yeah. I guess I was like everybody else. I didn't think I was gonna come here. You know, when I was on Georgia Tech or something, or going out of state. I really wanted to go out of state. I wanted to get away from the family.
I did kind of want to stay out of state.
So I wanted to go out of state, but that didn't happen. You know. I'm here. Big dreams. I mean, at first, you know, it started with like, okay, Harvard, Stanford, right? And then like SAT scores came in. I was like, I was like, let's dial it down. Like, I took the SAT like 3 times. I still made the same score, but like they super scored, and I got like a 1210 or something.
Okay.
So that was pretty good. My GPA was good, like a 4 point something. Okay. And I was in a lot of activities, or like 4 or 5 activities on campus.
Yeah.
I really didn't go to the meetings that much. I was just in them to. Like,
you one of the ones who just paid dues.
See, those are the type of people I did not like. I would be like, I'm trying to get the participation. I
was involved in some. I just wasn't involved as much. Like I was involved in TSA. I had a leadership position at the end of during senior year, and then I went to TSA conferences. So I was heavily involved in that. So. But everything else, I wasn't as involved. Like I joined like 6 clubs during like senior year. Like it just went up. Like number of clubs went up each year.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So I was involved in a couple stuff. In terms of applying to college, I was just like, I didn't think I was going to get into Georgia Tech, and I thought I wasn't going to get into UGA because I was like the SAT scores. Like my scores aren't that good, but I got in and I'm here now, and I don't feel like going nowhere else.
Yeah, and they say, I can't really see myself going anywhere else. Yeah. I think they said like the admissions people do not make any mistakes when they're doing the whole process. That's why it takes so long. So I mean, if you get in and you're here, there's a reason. Somebody wanted you to come here.
You're supposed to be here. Like
But we're actually over the time, not by too much. But thank you guys so much for listening, and I guess you'll tune in for the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is fun. Yeah.